Thank you everyone for the opportunity to tell you about the Azure Minerals story, and as it says up there, the Andover project, which is Australia's latest and newest nickel-copper-sulphide discovery and deposit. That can be found on the website. ESG, very important for us. As a company, we recognise the importance of this as far as investors in our company go, and just the way that we operate in the communities in which we live. So it's something that we take very seriously. Corporately, we've got a market cap at the moment of about $90 million and cash in the bank of about $12 million as we stand here right now. We were, up until a couple of years ago, operating in Mexico. We had a number of projects over there. When COVID came along, we left Mexico back to Australia to acquire the Andover Nickel project. In the meantime, over the last year, we've been through a sales process for the Mexican assets. That sales process is drawing to a conclusion, and it'll probably be closing that deal in about the next 4 to 6 weeks, and there'll be an announcement coming out about that. But there will be another infusion of cash into the Treasury as a result of the sale of those Mexican assets. So the main project which we're focused on is the Andover Nickel, Copper and Cobalt project, located in Western Australia in the western part of the Pilbara region. It's a 60-40 joint venture. We own the 60%. The Creasy Group and Mark Creasy have 40%, which is free carried through to the decision to mine. Project's located in the West Pilbara, as I mentioned, so we fly from Perth to Karratha, which is 2 hours, then we can drive half an hour along the Northwest Coastal Highway from Karratha on the left-hand side of that photograph to our project area on the right-hand side, shown as the blue polygon. And the project is really well situated as far as infrastructure goes. So we've got the main highway and roads going through it. We've got railway lines, there's gas, there's water, there's high voltage power lines through there, local workforce, etc. So as far as infrastructure goes, you couldn't get a better location in one of the great mining districts of Australia. So we zoom in a little bit, and the blue polygon is the outline of the 70 square kilometre tenement that we have that contains most of the Andover nickel-copper complex. Shown on there is a number of red stars, which are the prospects and deposits that we've been working on going forward. And in this area, the exploration is actually really simple. The rocks stick out of the ground. There is no soil cover. What's sticking out of, not only are the rocks sticking out of the ground, but the nickel and the copper mineralisation is also sticking out of the ground. We're only 5 kilometres south of the town of Roebourne, and yet these things that we're finding at surface, and we're finding them frequently, have never even been looked at previously. There's not been a rock cracked on the ground in this district, which is remarkable that these things should be standing there, still sticking out of the ground as virgin deposits, and no one has found them before. In addition to that, the geophysical exploration techniques that we're using, the electromagnetic surveying, have been really good. At the moment, we're batting 100% on that. Every time we've got an in-ground bedrock-hosted EM conductor, electromagnetic conductor, and we drilled it, we've hit nickel-copper-sulphide mineralisation. So the fact that the mineralisation sticks out of the ground, the fact that you can run the electromagnetic surveying and find mineralisation at depth makes this quite a remarkable area. Multiple deposits in there. So we've got the Andover deposit, which we've now drilled out. There's a mineral resource on that, and Ridgeline, where we're currently drilling out a mineral resource on there, and there's a number of other targets in that southwest quadrant where we've also been drilling, and we've been hitting good nickel as well. So there's lots happening. The Andover deposit itself, as I mentioned earlier, this is Australia's newest nickel and copper sulphide deposit. The resource came out only 2 months ago. The mineralisation sticks out of the ground, and we've drilled over 100 diamond drill holes into this now for about 30,000 metres of drilling. And in that drilling, we've identified the mineral resource and the mineralisation. It, as I said, starts at surface. It goes to at least 550 metres below surface. The mineralisation does continue at depth. It's not closed off. And we've got a very, very strong continuity of the mineralisation. So in terms of its width and its grade, there's excellent continuity all through that central zone, which is the red indicated zone. And that mineral resource, in terms of both indicated and inferred resources, totals 4.5 million tonnes at 1.1% nickel and 0.5% copper, for about 75,000 tonnes of combined contained metal in that deposit. And within it, there is a higher grade core to it, which is about 2 million tonnes, about 1.8% nickel equivalent. So very robust mineral resource there. And if you want to see the actual detail of the resource, it's on the last slide at the end of the talk. So where to from here? Well, we've finished drilling on the Andover deposit for the time being. We've got rigs drilling on the Ridgeline deposit, and we've got another rig started this week on the Atrium prospect as well. What we foresee here is this is actually going to become a nickel mining district, that there will be multiple nickel deposits, which will be multiple nickel mines, which will be feeding into a central processing facility located on the property, and many, many different targets that have yet to be drilled. Ridgeline, for example, there's multiple mineralisation there. That's 3 to 4 to 5% nickel in that drill core there, very nice high grades. The other targets you can see on there, like Atrium, where I said we've just started drilling on that as well, and that's going along really nicely at the moment. Other things like Seaview, Skyline and Pipeline are that ones where we have drilled and we have hit nickel, and we've yet to go back there and do follow-up drilling on those targets. So the company's following a two pathway strategy, which are being operated in parallel. Those two are, on the one side, we've got the exploration and resource drill outs are continuing full on all the time, and have been going for 18 months and will be continuing for quite some time to come. On the other hand, simultaneously, we're running a development strategy where we have a scoping study, or a PEA, that's underway at the moment. And that process should come to a conclusion sometime around the end of this year, when we'll put out the results of the scoping study. And at the same time, as we get the more resources get defined, for example, where we're drilling now at Ridgeline, they get fed into that scoping study process. So we're always going to be adding new resources into there as we continue to progress the project. So as far as the company goes, and as the project is, so Azure and Andover, it is a great fit. We actually have a really good team of people on board, of people that have got great track records of successful discoveries and building nickel mines and finding more resources as well. So we've got a really good team in place. We've got most of that Andover complex contained within our land package, so we're very strong in the area. And then we've been successful at the moment. We've drilled 4 targets. We've hit nickel mineralisation in all 4 of those. We're drilling a fifth one now and a 6th one shortly. So let's hope that success rate does continue as well. And the company is in a very strong position financially. As I said earlier, we've got $12 million in the bank right now. We're going to have more money coming in the next 4 to 6 weeks. And the company's in a strong position there, strong position in terms of its staff that it's got on board as well. We're in the right sort of commodities for the electrification and decarbonisation environment that everyone is aware that we're moving into as well. And we're doing that in a country which has a Class A rating as far as your ability to operate in Western Australia. So as far as the company goes, we're in a really good position, and I do thank you for your time.